I've got a quilt, I'm ready to quilt, and I want to try out my new ruler foot. This is by Westalee Designs. They're based out of Australia, but you can buy these in other countries and stuff now. It's got a pretty good distribution network. And the initial kits, they come for different machines, so just make sure you buy the right one for your machine. Mine is the high shank brother foot. So it looks like this. Some of them are a little bit different, and you also get a little ruler and some sort of grippy stuff to stick to the ruler in your set. They're about, I think I paid something like $70 for this, so they're not really cheap, but it means that you can quilt on a domestic machine with a ruler foot, just like you could on a long arm. You've probably seen videos on YouTube of amazing ruler quilting. So the main thing that you need to bear in mind is that this little hole here, it's adjustable for the height. And when I tried this out earlier, I haven't had a lot of success because I needed to attach it a little bit closer to the machine. So I needed the kind of the presser foot pressure, I guess, to be a little bit higher for it to do its job. So the first thing you want to do, regardless of your machine, unless you've got the same one as me, because it's a little bit different, is switch your machine on before attaching the foot. And that's just because it kind of bounces up and down and resets itself. So if you put it on there and you've got it too low, it's going to smash into your machine, and that's not going to be good for the foot, it's not going to be good for your machine. So switch your machine on, take off any other foot you've got. I've put a new needle in mine as well, just because I'm quilting a new project and it's always a good idea to do that. And so this actually needs me to take the screw all the way out because it's a hole rather than a slot. I'm going to show you a little bit closer up how I'm going to attach that to my machine. Okay, so I'm going to change my feed dogs so that they're all the way down. Mine's done with a little switch to the side, yours is probably a little switch at the back. And then I'm going to put the foot on here. I'm kind of attaching it loosely to begin with, so it'll go against my shank, and then I'm going to put the screw in. My hand's probably going to get in the way of the shot here. So I've just screwed it a few times. It's got a bit of movement in there still because it will depend on the thickness of your batting and your quilt in general as to how far you want this to go down. Alright, so let's put the quilt underneath. You might find as well that with this foot on your needle threader might not work, so please bear that in mind as well, because again you don't want to break your needle threader. Alright, so I've got my quilt underneath the foot, and I'm just going to lower my presser foot. It's still not attached because you've got that movement, which is really important, because if at this point I smacked it down I would be in trouble. So I'm going to lower the foot before I've tightened it up in position. So the lowest I can go is here, and I'm just going to hold it down with my finger. Now I haven't really got very good movement of my quilt underneath. I need it to be reasonably snug though, so I think for mine it's going to be nearly to the top. Let me grab my screwdriver. I'm just going to tighten it up there and just test it. So that is almost as tight as it will go, and I do have a bit of movement there. My plan is to echo quilt around this shape. I'm going to do a shot from above before I actually do it. So I'm just going to practice moving the quilt under there, and if I find that too difficult, then, I mean I find moving quilts kind of difficult anyway, then it's down too low, but those seams aren't getting in the way, so I think we're good to go. Okay, so our feed dogs are down, the foot's down, we've got the needle threaded. Now, with the needle being a 1/4 of an inch away from the metal edge, you actually have to kind of factor that in when you're using the rulers. So if you were expecting to go a 1/4 of an inch away, you actually need to kind of compensate for that. So I'm going to put that one actually behind the foot. I'm going to line this line up here, which is a 1/4 of an inch mark. Don't know how well you can see that here. And then if I put that on the seam, that means I'll be 1/2 inch away from that mark with the 1/4 of an inch of the foot factored in also. So I'm going to put my needle down, and I'm going to bring my needle back up again and pull my bottom thread to the top. There it is. And I'm going to go for it. Now the stitch length on this, same with all free motion quilting, because you've got your feed dogs down, the rate in which you move the quilt, and you also have your foot down on the pedal, will determine how long your stitches are. So I'm just keeping my eye on this. The tension for me, I can see the bottom thread coming through because it's a darker red, so I'm actually going to turn the tension down on the top, just because that will then loosen the thread, which means the bobbin thread should be pulling that top thread down a bit. I've actually had to dial my tension down quite a bit, so I have to remember to put that back again when I'm piecing. That kind of looks about right. I'm just going to go all the way around this shape here. So I've done my square here. This one I'm going to do some V shapes, and I'm just, again, you're going to use the straight edge of this ruler. You have got a curve as well, so if I wanted I could kind of position it in there and make it kind of have like an orange peel effect, but I've decided to go for straight edges on this particular quilt, and it is a slow process. This is one of the slowest ways to quilt a quilt, even if it's not very dense. So my foot's down, which is the important bit, and I'm about 1/4 of an inch away from both sides of that square. And that kind of looks like even from each edge. So this is where I'm going to flip my ruler around. And I'm just resting the edge of the foot against the ruler, and that gives me that straight edge. You have to be quite firm with the way that you hold the ruler down. Flip my ruler around again, and I'm going to aim for about here. It's all a bit of it takes a bit of practice to remember where your 1/4 of an inch mark is, and to kind of get that brain training in there. And then I'm going to rest alongside the edge again. And stop 1/4 of the way in. So that's my first M. I'm just going to work my way all the way around the block. And the good thing about using this is you could treat it like your free motion. You don't have to rotate the quilt. So let's speed this up and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So this is the back, which looks a lot nicer than the front, but I guess it just takes a bit of practice. I'm going to restitch some of these areas, but that's kind of the general shape I wanted to go for. I just found it really difficult moving it in some directions, but I didn't want to twist it. I'm also having a little bit of trouble with my tension, and I think my thread is kind of breaking a little bit, so I'm going to have a little look at that. But generally it's not too bad.